So, Escape from Tarkov Arena. Now, the two most important questions. Is it fun? Yeah. Is it worth $40? Heck no. Because I think it's way too overpriced what you get. So I'll start with the good stuff. So the way this game works is it's similar to Counter-Strike, where you go into a match, and at the beginning of the match, you pick a specific loadout, and then you play up to, depending on how long it takes, for the first team to win 5 rounds, and then the match is over. And I think there are two things that make it more fun than Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six Siege in certain ways. The first thing is that it's uncompromisingly Tarkov, which means there's no minimap and no name tags for friendlies. So as the round progresses and players move around the map a lot, the only way you can tell a friendly from enemy is by the color of the armband. And the second thing is that you are stuck with the kit you picked at the beginning. And this gets interesting as you play more and more rounds. You try to figure out what kits the enemy picked and what tactics they're using. And the enemy is trying to do the same thing against you. And the gear unlock system, or the loadout unlock system, that's the core of the game. That's the core motivator with the unlock system. So the way it works is that, see, I got your car rating, and that's your rating system. That's a rating system similar to Rainbow Six or Counter-Strike. Now, when unlocking gear, it's a bit confusing. So in the first tab, you got the rating kits. And those kits you can only unlock if you actually at least once make it to that rating number, which means the high-end kits over here. You actually have to get really far in the ratings to unlock those kits. And I actually like that because it preserves some of the Tarkov hardcoreness of the game. So not everything is just given to you, but just playing the game a lot. For some things, you really have to play really well to even see it. However, not all kits are set up like that. So for example, you got the assault kits over here, scout kits. And those kits, they're unlocked by just playing the game in a specific way. So if you use the guard kit for some time, then you unlock the Rudnick kit. And you can get the other kits over here. And if you want to see what a kit has, you can just click over here, and you see the gear that you have. Now, combat itself, I think, is really fun, because the game, it combines the realistic Escape from Tarkov combat with the format of Counter-Strike ranked gameplay, or Rainbow Six Siege ranked gameplay. So you have these 90-second rounds, and the big advantage you get over playing normal Escape from Tarkov is that it probably takes you up to 1 or 2 minutes to find a match. And then 1 minute you get to pick your kit or your loadout. And then you get to about 20-25 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay, where you can just play, wait for the next round, and you respawn to the next round. So you don't play it like Escape from Tarkov, where you have 4 minutes of loading in, and then perhaps the raid is over after 5 minutes. Now I'd like to talk about the bad stuff. Now, the game has two major problems. The first one is the amount of maps and the quality of the maps. So if you go to rank mode, currently you got only 5 maps. And the air pit, I think it's the only really good map in this game, because it looks like it's custom built for the game. We have this aircraft in pieces, and it looks like an aircraft hangar that was modified to look like an arena. So it's like a realistic location. However, other maps in this game, like Bay 5, I think it's that joke map from Call of Duty with the containers. Because I think when the first time the Call of Duty developers made that container map, they probably made it as a joke to see how quickly they can make a map out of minimal amount of assets. That's a stupid running joke in Call of Duty that shouldn't have been in Escape from Tarkov. And it's visually a boring map because you just walk around between containers, and the gameplay is pretty boring too. And the problem is the other maps like Bowl and Equator, there's similar setups like that. They look like just the developers taking assets from the main game and just rearranging them into an arena. And I think it's a bit low effort. So what they should have done is, for example, cut out a piece of interchange, modified slightly so it's an arena, similar to Air Pit or Sawmill. So that's the first weak point. And the second weak point in the game is that the unlock system itself, because it sucks out the most fun thing in Escape from Tarkov, because you cannot make your own kit. What they should have done, for example, instead of unlocking complete loadouts, they should have allowed it to unlock specific guns or gear items, and then within a certain limit to completely modify your own kit and bring it into the raid. And then they could make the ranked battles about 100,000 ruble kits, 200,000 ruble kits, and 1 million ruble kits. So players would be would be limited in terms of money by the kit. Because one of the big things in Escape from Tarkov was that you can express yourself as a Tarkov player, both in the gear choice and the cosmetic modifications to the gear. So for example, let's say you want to use an AK-74 with iron sights and your favorite furniture. You currently cannot do this in this game unless you find a kit that looks similar to it. And I think that's one of the most fun things that would have been if they would have been in the game right now. Just being able to modify your own kit and then show it off in the arena as you're playing. However, that is taken away from the player because only the developer who made those kits had that fun, and it's now permanently removed from the player. I think that's the biggest mistake of Arena. Because once you unlock most of the things, then you're basically just playing Counter-Strike in a Tarkov setting. And what Tarkov always had over other games is that you have an extremely detailed gear modification system. And you cannot access that because the game basically locks it away into presets. So overall, I think it's a really fun game, but it's way overpriced what you get.